I don't think it's going to take that. I always remember that it wasn't necessarily being what they said. Pictures would take that.
I curate these creative Acadiana workshop series, plus a bunch of other things, including networking events, and I do a bunch of grant administration. So I'm thinking about the creative needs. I don't think I need much introduction here, but really excited to have Aileen here. This is definitely the biggest turnout I've ever had, and it just like really attests to her community outreach and all of her amazing like marketing skills.
It's the English accent.
Yeah. So hopefully with that in mind, maybe you'll start calling me a little bit as well.
This speech was originally for artists, so we're going to talk about all of that. So I'll refer to that quite a lot, but the rest of you who aren't full-time artists are creative anyway, and you're going to really easily go, oh, she's talking about that, I can apply that like this in my life, because I checked the list and you're all super intelligent, so we're good. Artists, did you hear what Anna said she did? What does she do? She puts on this one. She puts on there, but there was a bit near the end, she said.
Grant administration.
Grant administration. That's vital. Nearly all of you, if you're an artist, get a meeting with Anna. Okay? I'm going to say.
My business cards are here.
No, see? She's got a business card there. Go and we'll talk about this, but go and talk to me about what you do, what kind of grants you can apply for. She knows stuff. Follow her on social media. She is always putting up residencies and exhibitions and things that you can apply for. And as artists, we're going to get a lot more proactive about that. So follow her. Anna, what's your social media?
Anna_Kojevnikov. Yeah, you can all spell that. Okay. Yeah.
She writes in too, so she's, you know, she wins too. But follow people like that. She's always putting up residencies you can apply for. I have a thing, I'm probably going to mention it later in the speech. What if this year, Lafayette artists and surrounding areas, New Iberia here, start applying for more and more stuff? What if we're the ones that apply for the exhibitions or the grants? That builds Lafayette's reputation. People start going, wait, what's doing in Lafayette? We've waited, sorry, anyone's offended by this, we've waited for the powers that be to help artists. We know that they love artists being here and creative, but they're not giving us any money. So we have to do it. We can't wait for them. If all the creatives start helping each other, then we all win. So Anna, I need to share Anna's post more. She's going to say, oh, you know, there's this residency. One of my dreams this year, a residency. You get to go and work somewhere for a couple of weeks, often with a bit of money, in an art environment. There are houses in the woods, there are places in Paris, and you go to work there for a few weeks. And they give you a bit of money to cover your costs. It's fantastic for artists. And also you get to list those on your resumes. Apply for exhibitions. In a bit, I'm going to ask you to look back a little bit on last year, and I'll tell you my worst thing last year, so people can know about it. I applied for my first ever juried exhibition. And I didn't get in. And I think for ages, I was like, that's it, I'm not going to be an artist anymore. Obviously, I can't do this. And I can't get into an exhibition. I know people that got in. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna be just an illustrator, I'll just do commercial work because I can't draw well enough to be an artist. And I really believed that for ages, just because I hadn't got into an exhibition. And like, talk about my ego was bruised. I thought like I'd made this painting or this drawing especially for this exhibition. I'd like done it because it was like to me perfect, it fitted in, and I was pretty sure that they'd like it. No. And I took that as a complete failure. And now I've reframed it. And so I'm doing this all in the wrong. But I reframed it as like the win was entering. And if I can enter something every month this year, maybe eventually I'll get in. If not, I'll be one of those cool artists. Like I have entered 200 exhibitions. And then they'll go, Harry Potter book, it could be now. But it's part of the story. And it's like we have to start putting ourselves out there because no one's coming to rescue us. Any of us, whether you're artists or not, no one's going to swoop in. Like we're not Kate Moss, having you know the story of Kate Moss shooting an airport or a train station, and someone came over and went, "Oh wow, you're a beautiful model. Let me make you famous." Give me. That doesn't happen very often. So we have to go out there and do it. And all of you this year is great. So, hello. Hello. My name is Aileen Bennett. I am a writer, an illustrator, and a speaker. I usually do very different speeches from this. I normally talk about communication for big audiences, and I know the speech. Don't have to worry about it. This is not that speech. Tonight, I'm basically bearing my soul. I am going to tell you what I've been doing over the last year, kind of behind the scenes, the affirmations and the gratitude. And as an English person, that feels really weird. I'm logical. I'm not like, oh, let's wear this color or the moon. My friend's texting me about where the moon is. And so I'm not that person, but I've been testing some things over the last year. So tonight I want you just to kind of try and be open-minded. Most of you are already started more open-minded than I am, but try and be open-minded. We're going to do some stupid stuff that might seem stupid. I'm going to ask you to try some of it, but I'm also going to try and apply logic to it, because I used to be, when I was a cynical motivational speaker, I used to do a whole bit where I said, look, you can stand in a garden and say, there are no weeds, but it's much better if you actually dig the weeds up. Now I've shifted a little bit, and I think both of those are good, working together. If you can visualize that garden with no weeds, you're more likely to clear it up. You still have to actually clear it up. But it's so I've shifted a little bit in my logical thought. Oh, well,
No, but I can give you one.
no, I don't know, so I had to walk in. Okay, your most creative and profitable year yet. When I wrote this, it was aimed at artists, and so many artists are scared of money. We just want to be creative. We want somebody to come and tell us so much about what money our work is worth. Doesn't happen. Oh, I'm going to say that. Okay, let's go about that. Oh, this is production. Okay, I think we're back. Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be good for me, part of my New Year's resolution on next year. So, making money isn't a bad thing. It doesn't make you less creative. It doesn't make you less of an artist. It doesn't make you less of a good person. It doesn't make you less believing in God. It doesn't make you anything. It doesn't necessarily make you happier, but it doesn't often make you sad. Because it's about what you do with the money. I come from this, like, I'm a minimalist, therefore I shouldn't have too much stuff. And I'm like, well, but I like some stuff. And it would be nice to get a travel more and all those things. So I like to we have blockages about money. Start thinking of money as potatoes. Just as what? Money has all this emotion attached to it. It's just potatoes. Literally, it's just swapping one thing for another thing. Has anyone got emotions around potatoes? Oh, what are we cards? But it's just an exchange. Money doesn't have the value that we attach to it a lot of the time, the emotions. So this year you're gonna make more money. Who wants to make more money than they've ever made? Oh, good. This is why we're in a room together doing this. And also fire's kind of theme in my life at the moment. But it's like we all get to spark each other. That's why you came here. There are people hopefully watching online, hello online people. But that's why we're together. Are you ready? Yeah. Hell yes. No, you don't have to shout it out, it's not one of those, I can't hear you. This is like a guttural thing inside, are you ready to make a difference in your life? And I know I sound like a motivational speaker right now, that is not the intent of this, I promise. But you have to be ready. If you change, things will change. We have to change our perspective. I watched this so many times online the other day. Watch this. This is weird, that's incredible. But she didn't change what she did, we just changed perspective. So you don't have to change what you do, but I watched that so many times, it looks like the ball's not moving, and you're like, this is crazy. But sometimes just looking something in a different way is what we need. Let's go back to that bottom number, 2023. On your, and you don't need these notes, if you can tell, there are no words on these notes. If you have them, use them. You can write in the notebook, it doesn't matter. On here, there's an arrow pointing backwards, and there's a 1 and a 2. I want you to write 2 things. What did you learn? What did you achieve? Last year. And you can write an essay or you can write a couple of words. I'm not going to demand you read it. Anyone who wants to share them with me, great, but I'm not ever going to put you in that position. What did you learn? What did you achieve? I don't, and before doing this, I've read a lot of books about this in the last year or so, and everyone's got these like, look in and reject things of last year, work out, and I don't want to look at reject things of last year. It's just like, what did you learn? What did you achieve? If anyone wants to share them, they can. Anyone got something really cool they learned? I learned that being myself will get me further than I am. We've had those conversations in the coffee shop. Anyone else got a cool thing they learned last year?
I'm not very much. I was terrified all year for being home with her and like being born with her. But I love her so much. That it's like you there.
Most of the parents scared of don't come true. We spend a lot of time living in like borrowed anxiety. And I get anxious all the time as well, but it's like don't borrow it from the future.
I learned to find my 2 very different skill sets to create a business. So, speech language qualities and also voice. And I just completely concerned people who are with colors, being part of inclusive for everybody.
Nice. Did you hear that? Like stand up, tell them. You now run a business.
Hi, everybody hear me now? Yes. Okay, so, I decided to combine my two skill sets to create a business. The first skill set is I'm a constitutional pathologist. The other skill set is I'm an artist. I did a mural at Omni Rooms. I do like things to write.
She's amazing. So, incredible.
I decided to combine my two skill sets because both I'm actually both of them to create a company called Bravest, where we are making art accessible for individuals with disabilities.
Awesome. Yeah. And then open, and they have classes set up. So it sounds fantastic. Okay, who wants to share? Sorry, you go back. What they achieved? Oh.
I finished a 80,000 word novel. Right.
Twice that. You're taking everyone's in types. And you did the same. It's. With other artists and other creators in a room, we don't have to play that game. Stop playing it. You are a really good artist. I haven't read your stuff, but tell me.
Really?
Why would anyone be interested in writing an 80,000 word novel?
It's about a priest from the north moving down to Cajun country, and he meets a older woman who wants to help him, and he needs the help. And so they meet every Wednesday in the confessional on Wednesdays, and she tells the sins and of the town to him. I think it's a great book. All the other stuff is hard, so.
Say it like in front of friendly people, the more you'll get used to saying it. But we have to start putting down our achievements, not all of us. You have to stop saying, like, you don't have to be all like, oh, I did this and it's fantastic. You said, I just finished, that's an achievement. It's a huge achievement. And it also sounds really cool. I'm fine with it. But I'm sure you're gonna have a sign in and everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what? A sign?
Signing.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not published,
Have you got a publishing?
Trying to get it.
That's the fun bit.
But the goal is to write a screenplay. That's the goal, and that's my goal for the. Like,
That's what you're into. Nice. This is the fun bit. What do you want? We're gonna give everyone 10 minutes, write down, imagine this is a game show. Okay, and if you write something on your piece of paper in the next 10 minutes, maybe one of you wins it all. Maybe, not promising that bit, but write down, don't worry about anything, relax, write down for the next 10 minutes, anything you can think of that you want. You might surprise yourself. No one's gonna read it. Apart from the people online that put cameras over your shoulders. People online can do the same. Write down what you want. How they look at you, what make you feel. Put your feelings in there. Anything you can think of, don't worry about it being realistic. Some of you already thought, thinking, oh no, that's too much, I can't do that. If you want a new car, try and be specific, what kind of new car you want, what color is it? What's special about it? What kind of seats do it have? what there aren't in an exhibition, where's it gonna be in the exhibition, what exhibition, who's gonna see it? How big is the art? Write everything you know. It's surprising how little time as humans we take working this stuff out. Just take notice of yourself when you think, oh no, that's not realistic. Just take note of that in your brain and then ignore it. We talk about it later. Yeah, 6 minutes and 52 seconds. You can do a picture of what you want, you can. Practice everything on. If you do finish, start imagining some of those things, just like they're written about them. It doesn't want to tell. And if you daydream, you might get that's the way to tell what that number is. Maybe different areas of your life, your health will be different, your life situation, your creative situation, business situation, relationships. You are allowed to smile while you're writing this. You can make a list of everything you want. Do even just writing it out, you don't say if you finish or you'll get a bit stuck, just read over what you've written and imagine it happening. Three minutes and 40 seconds. Tell yourself to get even more like, what if this happened? Where that comfort zone comes in and starts poking you, like you can't have that, you can't have that much money.
It's all right.
minutes and 10 seconds. How will it feel when you're that person and takes the that job? How will it feel? What are you gonna wear? Does that change? How are you gonna walk into a room? You're gonna be more confident, you're gonna be happier. I hope both of those things. Oh, this hasn't got weird yet, by the way, this is just normal.
It hasn't gotten weird yet. It's
No,
like-
this isn't got weird yet, this is the normal stuff I would do. Come on, we didn't create a goal setting class, did we? One minute and 6 seconds. I had this weird theory that you were meant to have these dreams because you're meant to achieve them. Like probably no one's written, I want a house with a white picket fence in the ladies. We're not talking about the advertising dreams here, we're talking about the things that are in you. And I don't really know why we don't have these different things we want meant to do it. Because it seems really disputed, like most of the stuff in accordance is there for a reason. So why would we have all different dreams and hopes and things that we really want to do if we weren't meant to act on them? It would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Especially for the artists in the room, why would we want to put ourselves through that? But we just do, it's part of who we are. 3 seconds. You can't hear it, so we'll watch. Going now. We're watching buzzing. What are you prepared to do to get what you want? This is the time my husband said, "Are you talking about me tonight?" I said, "No," but then I realised I am. My husband's the one that reminds me very nicely that I don't want chickens, I want eggs. Because then he came home and I was like, "We should get chickens and we should do this." And he's like, "You don't want chickens, you want eggs." And he's right. I don't want chickens, I want eggs. So there are some things like that. There are other things like that you want all of it. And then some people have chickens, I'm very grateful to them and I'm eggs. I like fresh eggs more than I like chickens. He would like, because he would end up looking after the chickens. And he didn't want chickens like that, but he wants the eggs. So there are some things like that where you just want one bit of it, and that's fine. We sit in this world with a lot of kind of these rules that we've made up in our head. We can only have this, or we should do it this way, or this is the right way. Like watching people walk in, and the first people feel, well, it's big chicken. Whichever chicken, like, move it to where you want it. We never do that. We walk into a room and we sit down, and then we wait. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with taking the chair you want to the position you want. It's a really tiny thing. But as you start living your life like that, not taking away someone else's chair, but putting your chair where you want it. They're very different things. So some of these things you're going to ask, where, you know, what are you willing to do? Do you want the chicken or do you just want the eggs? And that's me. Let me get to some of the real bits now. Some of these things that you've already written down need to be scheduled. You want to get fit, how many times are you working out a week? Or what are you doing? Or all of that. So you have to be prepared to change some of your schedule and put it in. If it's something you want to do for yourself, put it in, just like it's a work meeting. Especially the artists in the room. How many of you like, I'm going to paint every night this week, and then you get tired or something else happens, and we don't even start. And starting is the genius. Starting makes you doubt yourself less. And a lot of stuff, we're going to do this or we're going to do that. If you want to start entering exhibitions and getting grants, you need to have a list every month of the grants that are available. And the easiest way to do that is look at the grants that were available last year and work out what month they came out in. So make a list and be like, I'm gonna, enter this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna ask for a grant for this. Apply for things. Another shout out for the Arts Spark grant. Everyone in this room is creative in some way. There is money available to help you do a project. Why, and I've been through all of them. I've been written in on other people's Arts Spark grants. I've had an Arts Spark grant myself, and I was a judge. So I learned all the different bits. And there aren't as many applications as you imagine. There should be hundreds. Because number one, it's the best grant, especially if you've never applied for a grant before. You can fill it in, you can come meet with them, they will talk you through filling it in, you can fill it in and then you can bring it back to them and they will look at it and say, oh, change this bit or write this bit or you've forgotten this bit. That doesn't happen. So if you need, even if you don't get the Arts Spark, you have just got a class in grant writing from people that see grants all of the time. And this is grant, sorry, I'm doing a speech about Arts Spark now. You can write a book, you can do art, you can, what else, Anna? Give me some examples.
Make a film, make a recording,
Any creative thing.
design a fashion line, lots of different things. Come and talk to me about it.
And it not only gives you some money to start in that and helping other people, getting other people involved, but it gives you this structure around you when you can say, I'm doing this as part of this. And that makes a difference. So apply, or at least come up with some ideas. There are meetings where you can discuss your ideas and they'll help you kind of, sort those out into, good ideas. Then there are meetings where they'll help you fill out your forms and they'll look at your forms. It's brilliant. And yet, there are maybe 50 people.
40 is the most we've ever had. 39.
39 people is the most they've ever had apply.
Wow.
That's crazy to me.
And this year we have double the amount of money.
So you can apply for up to 10,000?
If you're a mature artist, which is anybody who has documented experience of over 15 years can apply for that.
See, I'm a beginner. But it's highly available to start projects, to help you with projects. If you're writing a book, it can help you get it published or whatever you need it for. There are rules that you can get into. But does everyone think of a creative project they'd like some money for?
I'm just going to say that we do have an information session next Wednesday in this room. So it's at 5.
But it could be something that can involve other people. You don't have to be other people drawer. You can be like, I'm going to make a collective book about local stories, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do whatever it is. You might not get it, but the process of applying, number one, is easy. But also, you're like, I just applied for my first grant. That's a win. Because that teaches you what to apply to other grants. You're shocked, because you don't really know behind the scenes until you see it. 39 people is the most they've ever had apply. How many people are shocked at that number? Yeah. Right. As I said at the beginning, especially the artists among you, we have to start making a difference. If they start getting 300 people apply every year, more businesses will want to get involved, the money will go up. Because they're like, there are 300 projects, and some of those projects people are going to hear about and go, oh, let's make that happen anyway. But that should be given in a community like this. Artists are our own worst enemies. We complain a lot. We do. We say they're sitting. They just want us to do art for free. No one wants to pay us. We've all said that. We've all had those conversations. Whatever kind of artist you are, I don't appreciate us around here. They're trying to help. They need hundreds of people to apply for this. I want every exhibition to be overwhelmed. If they do that, they'll put on more exhibitions. They'll give out more grants. But it's up to the creatives to start it. No one's coming to rescue us. We have to start applying for more things. And I know everyone has those intentions at the beginning. Oh, what a good idea. Oh, and we go through, oh no, I can't fill out that form. Oh no, we're like too hectic. You have to go, right, this is what I want. How many people have got a creative project of some kind on their things they want list? These people will all be applying for that. Remember, that grant doesn't have to cover your whole project. I did an illustrated cafe a few years ago. That gave us enough money to build the first set so that we could get sponsors to come and see it. And then we got 30 grand in sponsorship on top of that. Because it was a bigger project, it was hard to explain to people. Like, I showed them a picture, they're like, you're making a video? No, so we made one set that people could come and sit in, and that's how we got sponsors to sign in. So it doesn't have to be the be all and end all. The other thing I hear about this grant is people say, well, I can't pay myself from it, and that's not fair. You can't pay yourself. You can pay other people, you can pay all the other things you need, you can buy canvases and paint. And at the end, you can sell those pictures and you can keep the money. So you can, if making money is, part of it, and it should be, you can sell the things you make. You can use that to have an illustrator come in. You can use that to learn from somebody else who's done it before. You can use it to buy any kind of materials, to work with other creatives. And then you can sell the product. So there's always ways, it's not like, oh, well, they won't let me give myself the money. Indirectly, you can make a lot of money if you need to. But they will give you money to do your dreams. And if anyone's got a creative project, next Wednesday here, and then there's lots all over the place. Next Wednesday, there's an information session. You need to be back in this room. Because when you're starting a project, starting is the genius. So if you have 3-5 grand to start it, that puts it in momentum and it makes it real. And then you have to do it. And that's really good for us as artists. Not the weird bit yet. Anyone know what this is? It's a bubble. People, how many people like it's a bubble, but I'm not saying that? We do that for something bubble, I'm not saying the bubble, because it's probably not a bubble, and what if it's not a bubble? The bubble. It's what the case where it starts getting a little bit weird and people need to notice. This is what I and some other people call the bubble of believability. It's a bit like a comfort zone, only it's a bit more fragile. How many people can imagine themselves, and you can just nod or smile, you don't have to put your hand up if you don't want to do that. How many people could comfortably imagine themselves earning $1 million this year? See, some people get 10 million, 100 million. Where's your bubble of belief? Eventually there's a bit where you go, can't imagine that. And that's fine. If you start writing out every day, I'm going to earn $10 million this year, but your self-talk is like, that's stupid, I can't do that, that's impossible. We'll deal with self-talk in a minute, but that's just your bubble of believability. Maybe start with like, I'm going to earn $1 million. And see where your bubble is, because what you don't want to do is write something so unbelievable to you that it becomes just that stupid. I don't believe that. I don't believe I can be, the next great artist. I don't believe I can have my own talk show. I don't believe, if you can't believe it, if you can't imagine it, then just put it aside for a little bit and go, right, I'm going to start with $1 million this year. I'm going to start with $100,000, 10, whatever it is. Because you can be on your way to that, and just like your comfort zone, your bubble bursts, but a new one comes along. Your comfort zone just gets bigger as you get to the edge of it. You can't get rid of your comfort zone, but every time you knock to the edge, it just grows a little bit bigger. And so more things are comfortable. And that's kind of the idea of this. Don't do something where you're like, that's impossible. Because you have to kind of get there in increments. That's not the real thing. Okay, this is probably not weird to any of you except me. This is where I struggled. I was reading this stuff called scripting. Has anyone heard of scripting? Okay, so scripting is a bit like writing a script for a play. It's a bit like that, but it's for your own life. And you do it from a place of gratitude. And I was already in like a gratitude thing. I do this thing. See, my husband's good with you do what? When I'm driving along, especially if I'm going to a meeting or something that's like a little bit nervous, I will start like looking at everything around. I'm driving on out loud, and I'm saying to myself, thank you for the tree, thank you for the other car, thank you for people wearing hats. And everything I say, and then I slip in what I want in the middle of that. As if the universe isn't going to notice. Thank you for this meeting going really well. Thank you for this art piece working. Because that gratitude thing really does work. No one, it puts me in a very confident mood by the time I get there. But I will literally in everything. I'm like, thank you, people have a great life. Thank you. Like, I literally. Have you ever seen me driving along looking like I'm singing? That's probably what I'm doing. Did it on the way here tonight? And it's like, thank you for grass. They oh, thank you for that. And then you get these like endless. And then slipping the things you want in the middle, as if they're just as obvious as grass. And so that's where we come from. We're going to write a letter thanking now. Who you write the letter to is up to you. You could write it to your guardian angel. This is where it gets weird for me. We're both laughing. These are the people that go, it's so cool. What am I meant to do with that? I write them to the universe, feels like a good thing. You can write them to God, you can write them to anyone. Thanking them. So you're in the present, the future, and you're thanking them for some of the things that you've written down in your thing. So it's thank you, this is how I feel. Thank you for this happening. This is how I feel. Always add, I feel so excited every morning when I get up. Thank you for this happening. Put yourself in that frame of mind. It may be 4 or 5 things, and you are going to read this letter to yourself every morning for 30 days and every evening. I confess, I had to stop reading mine in the evening because I would get so excited that I couldn't tell. I really want to feel like this is happening. So really, imagine yourself, pick 5 things that have happened, and you're thanking the universe, God, angel, whatever you want to write it to. And this is what you're going to read every morning, every night. If anyone needs more paper.
Do we write 5 future things that are building?
No, in the future, as if they've already happened.
Okay.
Thank you for this happening. Thank you. I have more money in the bank than ever. I feel like this. It feels great to know I can travel anytime and buy anything I want. I feel confident. Put feelings in there of what happened. But it's like, so you're writing in the present tense as if you already had it. And you should be smiling while you're writing this. Just one thing, But you could, dear universe, thank you so much. I now have more money in the bank than I've ever had before. I feel a sense of confidence, and I know I can travel and afford everything I want. I can help my family. I can buy a house. This feels amazing. Here's mine, just because I do this. Probably so you can't read it, but this is mine. Remember when you're writing about the feelings, feel them. You might as well get that excitement now. You might as well know what it's like to have achieved all those things. Dear universe, thank you for getting me into an exhibition this. Don't worry about doing it neatly tonight, you can copy it out into your notebook or another piece of paper. And even though lots of the things I read said, no, you must do this, you must write this out, you know, with a pen. You can put it in your phone, you can record it so it's your alarm every morning. You can do whatever you want. Because I think the universe understands all of that. All these rules, I think people sold books were making up the rules, like you have to do it this way. You must write this under the light of the full moon. Good. You should, perhaps the next full moon especially, go in this light, read this letter. Mum will text you when there's a full moon and a new moon. And it's obviously. How many people does this feel a little bit strange to? Yeah, me too. I know, it's weird. We're all cleaning on the words for like 30 days since the long while to like have to do this, yeah. Do achieve your dreams. We spend a remarkably little time, really, like, we kind of know what we want, but sitting down and writing it out is like, you know, what we do. It's scary. Yeah. 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 Yeah, this is kind of last a little bit, and then we'll allow some time to Q&A.
No, mine.
Yeah. The dear universe and the goddesses. I won't read, I can read those because. How many people feel more positive? Right, I can do this. And the great thing is, whatever the books say, you won't have to believe this was to happen. Because my theory is I like the logic behind things. So if I read this twice a day, the things I want, I'm going to start doing actions to make that happen. So if that's the worst that happens, eventually I go, oh, I probably should start painting if I want to be, you know, or I should do this, or I should work out if I want to get fit. So even if that's all that happens, is it puts it into your mind every day and you start acting on it, then that's fine. But also spooky things start happening. That if you put stuff into the universe conspires to make it happen. This is no different to a prayer. It's not. And I don't come from years, I don't have that Catholic, so this is the same stuff. You pray, you've already told it's answered. Yeah, it's manifesting, it's abundance, it's knowing that everyone in this room can get what they want. It's not like, oh, well, one person can get it, but the rest of you can't. And that's what we're going to talk about next. You are uniquely in a room full of people who all have that, I guess, but I think it's right from the book, that little flame inside, that little burning thing that they want to do. Wouldn't it be great if some of you kept in touch? And like maybe once a week, you just go, hey, have you been doing yourself? You can do that tonight. You can go, hey, does anyone want a little mastermind group or a group? I have, I think if you might know, I have one, and it's like, they sent me one day, has been to put on my phone. So every time I turn on my phone, it says, I am totally committed to manifesting my dreams. Do you know how many times a day I see that? It's constant. So try, do things like that. We will help you use technology. Have a song that you play or a whole playlist. That during that song, you just get to daydream and imagine this life you want to live. Could be all of it, could just be a bit of it. So have a song that every day when you hear it, that's your cue to daydream. The worst thing educators ever do is tell us not to daydream. It should be a class in it. Like this is how you daydream. Yes, there are times to daydream. That's what I'm saying during the song. Don't do it during like if you've got a proper job and when the teacher's talking to you. But also we should be told that that's an incredibly powerful thing, especially if we're imagining ourselves in the future. But also all those warm fuzzy feelings and the confidence you're going to feel, you can borrow that from the future. If you're going to feel better about yourself when you have $1 million in the bank, why don't you just feel better about yourself now? Because if you act like it's going to happen, and I went through this last year with like, I accidentally published a book. And I'll tell you, so it literally was kind of like that. It felt like, so a few years ago, 2018, I had cancer. And I kind of like, I wasn't one of those fighting cancer, I was mainly napping through cancer. And I was going through chemo and I finished Netflix and I started drawing and it was fun and I wrote a few things, shared some of them, some of them I didn't think much about it. And I'd obviously written this little thing that I found later and didn't think much about it. Then at the end of the lockdown, I did a course online with the School of Visual Arts in New York. And it was kind of a narrative writing course and I'd met the woman on Instagram. And I thought, I want to see if I can hang with those people in New York. Let's check that. Am I still creative if I'm with those people? And so we did this like 8-9 week writing course, the people in their bedroom and all it, you know. And we'd share our stuff at the end of every lesson. And in the last 3 weeks, we would read our stuff out and everyone would give us feedback. And the day before I was meant to read this out, I hadn't really done my homework, so I found this thing I'd already written. Fantasy reading 3 chapters, everyone else was reading like the first 2 chapters from their fantasy novel. And so even messaged people and hey, my thing is so different from everybody else's, maybe I should just not do it. And I was said, no, doing that. And so I read what's now a little bit fire. And during it, everyone started turning off their cameras. We're on Zoom. And I'm trying to read it slowly to make it sound longer. And all the cameras are turning off. And my inner voice was crucified. Oh my God, it's so bad that I didn't get a reply. And then I started getting these messages going, turn my camera off and crying, turn my camera off and crying. Well, like most of the class. And it was the weirdest thing. And everyone was like, this needs to be a book. And I'm thinking, this is like less than 300 words. This is not like going to be a book. But I was like, thank you. Yeah, you know, one day I'll make it into a book. Then move on. I decided to do a project. This was fun. I did key text 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember it, but it was on Facebook. And I knew people would send me key cakes. So I would invite my friends over. And also I kind of knew the paper would see it and ask me to do a painting paper. But if you're any good as an artist at this, do personal projects. I love drawing food and buildings. Sometimes together, sometimes not. But they're my favorite things. So every now and then I draw them to kind of remind people, hey, she draws food. So I did this, and the paper did after a page. I was getting pretty smart. I was like, oh, personal project, but you know, paper wanted it. A few months after that, I get a message on Facebook going on Instagram saying, hey, this guy's looking for people to do keynotes. Okay, that's the weird thing to be looking for, but I don't see the message again. A couple of months go by, I'm thinking about it, and this guy messages me and says, I'm writing a book about key cakes. I'm talking to like 3, 5 illustrators, would love to chat to you. So we have this weird moment where we jump on Zoom. He's in London. I'm here, but he's A New Yorker who usually lives in New Orleans. I think we get on really well. And so I sent him a quote of, this is how much it would cost, never hear from me. Okay. I thought, but, and then once I didn't go, oh my God, I'm the worst of the show in the world, we must take myself. So, a few months later again, and she showed me on that kind of thing saying, hey, I'm sorry you never sent me a quote for that. And I was like, oh, because I'm pretty sure I did. But he said, but my publisher wants to talk to you about a different book. So anyway, go back and forth with him, send him, I said, look, I did send you a quote, so I was in my spam, sorry, but I've got it straight on fine. So talk to the publisher about children's poetry book. It was lovely, got to do it. Even the samples I sent in went straight in the book. Beautiful, easy, beautiful, perfect project. Then 2 weeks later, he called me and says, it's not working out with the illustrator. So I ended up doing 2 books with his publisher at the same time, both in a rush at the end of last year. And so I'm doing that thinking, I'm an illustrator. And only I've been an illustrator when I was sick. I never wanted to do it before then. And suddenly I'm like, I'm an illustrator. So one afternoon, I do believe, and remember this, you only ever have to be grading for 20 seconds at a time. Wow. Hardly ever have to be grading for a whole day. It was 20 seconds. So I wrote this email to the publisher and said, hey, I've got a book that I'd like to read to you, which is not how you approach a publisher. And I didn't want to send it to her because it's like really short. So she said, oh my God, can you jump on Zoom? We've been waiting for you to say this. So I jump on Zoom, read the book, and wow. Never tell back and bring something. But it just happened because the universe conspires. I say it wasn't ever, I didn't sit down to write a book. But at least I was doing something creative and putting it out there, and I said yes to illustrating the book, and yes to this, and yes to that. And so the universe will conspire, things you hadn't even dreamt of. Once you kind of get going with this, and I've probably been doing this for a year, and you only have to do this for 30 days, and then see how you are with it. Like, that should be enough for your brain to know it anyway. 30 days, morning and night, so I had to stop doing it at night. But sometimes I read it just for fun now. I go, oh, yeah, I can see that, that's moved, that's changed, I've done some of that. And whether it's just that logic science, is like, I want to get fitter and working out more, because I've read that every day. That's not magic, or is it? But some of the other things, because you start taking action. But the great thing is, you don't have to do this by yourself. I know you're all too scared to talk to someone. You want to do the same thing. If you don't know anybody, you go, hey, you want to make a little group? Well, check in by email once a week. It doesn't have to be anything big, or let's check in a month and see if we've done this. You might become friends, you might never speak to each other again, who knows? But having a group of people who do not think you're crazy for wanting the crazy things you want. Because nearly everybody, we're all living too small. Even those of you I look at and go, whoa. Like, do you see how many paintings Paul puts out every month? This guy is just constantly, I'm looking at, I need to be able to do that. And it doesn't, there's lots of people in the room going, whoa, she's doing this, and she just got this done, she just went out on her own business. And I'm looking at it going, wow, it doesn't mean you can't help each other. We're all living too small. If the last few years have taught us nothing, life is short and weird, and we're still trying to play by this set of rules that don't really exist anymore. So why wouldn't we go after what we want? Wait, nobody wrote world domination and I want to kill people, right? Okay. I should clarify that. But those things you have that you want are there for a reason. And this 30-day thing, and for the first few days, clarify the letter. You can change it. And I said, I read the book now. Don't change it. The universe will be confused. Universe is not confused. You can change it now. You don't one day go, thank you, I'm living in London. I'm living in a 2-bedroom house in London. And then the next day you're like, thank you, I'm living in a 6-bedroom mansion. And then you're like, thank you for all my houses. So make sure you kind of, keep focusing on what you want. You can add things. You can daydream around them. But give it 30 days, morning, and if you can do it, you can I tend to do mine at lunchtime, I take a don't lay in bed and go. What's this stuff? It's so cool. So that's something you should be about this stuff. And the great thing is, as you get close to some of this stuff, they usually go check it off and then you go, oh, that happened. Oh, wait, I wrote that down. And then you can do another list and up it, and gradually you can be like, oh yeah, 10 million, that's fine. I can do that. Because you do it like, oh, you'll go one first if you just kind of creep up on it. But you don't have to live outside of the comfort zone. You have to start from where you are. But just knowing where you get to, and you get to borrow the feelings from them. I said earlier, if you're going to be confident once you, whatever, once your 3 papers published and you're, you know, on the list nominated for an Emmy, if that's going to make you walk into a room and be really confident, why don't you start that now? And also that generosity to other people. We all get to achieve our dreams. And I'm not going to stand here and go, right, you 3, keep in touch, you 3. But please, if you're brave enough tonight, just reach out to a few people and go, hey, you want to do that ridiculous thing she just said? Because I had that, and I don't know about you guys, but it's changed my, look, we have a little group, we have a little group that's on a text message, it's called Creative AF. It's named after a t-shirt I used to wear. And I'm not scared to tell them, like, if I'm having a really, like, I don't believe in myself at all. And they'll all send little pep talks or memes mostly. And it's really nice to know that even though we don't see each other every day, we're all there working on our things and we're all there. My book launch, these people took it over. They arranged a huge book launch. They arranged drink and food and sponsorship and all of that. I wasn't intending to bring my book tonight and have it at the back of the room. Oh no, I got a text. You need those little groups of people that will like just kind of poke you and go, hey, yeah, we're all doing this. It's not silly. Hey, did you do this? Did you, you know, put this out there? Have you put this out there? Have you done this? Who will share your stuff? And you can make little Instagram groups and share each other's stuff. And we even found ways you don't have to do that publicly, but it still counts on the algorithm. And the great thing is we all get to help each other. And that's how Lafayette changes. That's how we become that creative city, and New Iberia too. But it's by all of us doing our bit and not waiting for someone to come down, you know. It doesn't work that way. We've been waiting for years. But we all need to, ArtSpark's your perfect starter. How many people have got an idea for ArtSpark? Literally, remember, the most they ever had apply was 39 people. Now, I can tell you that at least half of them hadn't filled in the form correctly. And no, I'm not joking, am I, Anna? So those people can't even be considered because they've either done something you're not allowed to do or they haven't filled in a bit, and it's really hard because there's points for each section. So if you miss out a section, you don't even get, so out of the, we're probably talking about 20 people. It's ridiculously good. And the best thing that comes out of it, you don't get a grant at all. You have a project that you've thought about and you have worked out that you could either apply for other grants or people have read it and know, and they make it happen anyway. Because people like to talk. But, oh, I saw your project. That was really amazing. You didn't get a grant. Let's find other ways to get a grant. Ask you? Oh.
Yes, yeah. I applied twice to get it. Painful. It was painful.
Painful.
Very painful.
Yep.
Yeah. The first time I really thought I was going to get it. The second time, I'm not a great grant writer, and I'm the one that did it. The first time, a grant writer helped me with it, and I was pretty sure.
Did you take it in for them to look at and see?
Didn't take it in, but we did do one thing the first year. I had sent there. Yeah, there was some feedback. Yeah.
But you're making the project happen anyway.
Yeah, then I got asked by the ACA to do it here.
See, because the ACA have heard about this project.
Yeah.
Shocking. And I
Gonna
have
get more money.
already bought tickets. Do you all know about this project?
Okay.
Stand up. Oh, no. See,
No, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. We're doing this without the oh God. We're not doing that anymore. Remember? We're doing to talk about your project, Caroline.
So I wrote, me and, what's that?
It's just for the online.
Oh, hey. People listening online.
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Caroline Helm-Huval. So, I wrote a musical and, it's about little orphan Annie, and she is 39 and she, does not, it's 1961, she's 39. She doesn't have any children, she's not married, and she is visiting Miss Hannigan in the nursing home. Yeah, and so it's sort of the story flip-flopped, orphanage to nursing home, and it's about loneliness and what is family, and you feel like you don't have anyone, but maybe you do. And, you know, there's the evil director. And so Hannigan's the orphan now, although we can't call her Aunt Hannigan because of copyright stuff. So, so that's the story, and it's fun because there's like many layers of why it's fun. It's like, I tried out for Annie when I was 18 and I did not get it. So it's sort of a story of, I'm going to make my own story where I'm Annie. So I'm going to play Annie. And so it's, you know, several layers.
Joanna Devine's involved.
Joanna Devine is a songwriter. Songwriter. Chaz Justice. Christy Lichty's directing it. And what else?
It's on for 3 nights.
It's on 3 nights, June 6th, 7th, and 8th. Go get your tickets now. And tell all your friends.
Listening now. We already bought ours because it's gonna sell out.
And I really want to make it, well, I really want to make it. I really want to make it a night where I'm kind of fulfilling my own dream so I went to New York to take acting lessons, and I had this idea when I didn't think I was going to have children. The story is basically about me. And now I went to New York to become an actor. Then instead I got pregnant and came back here. And so I want to make this like the most Broadway vibe that I can for myself. So I want to like turn the ACA. I want everyone to get dressed up. I want to have we don't have to go to New York for great theater. We can come to the ACA, and so make it. So it's just like a play within a play within a play within a play. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And that's what can happen if you don't get the Art Spark grant. But the fact that you write it out and you apply for it and people hear about it. Think about it, all the judges hear about it and the ACA hear about it. And sometimes they go, hey, let's make that happen anyway. So still worth it, even if you get nothing else for it. If it's writing a grant, it's great practice. So I'm I was written in on some grants, first of all. I helped people on theirs. I did some illustration. I did some coaching on one of them. So I was introduced to it that way. In fact, that's right. I'm sick in bed, chemo. And I said to my husband, I think I want to paint. I'm drawing, and I think I'm going to learn to paint. I'm Googling learning to paint because I'm not good at that. One of my friends has applied for an Art Spark grant for a dance. I have a conversation with her and she's like, oh, we need a painting for the dance. We can buy you a canvas and the paint and we'll do it. You can do a painting. I was like, oh God, yeah, how to paint quickly. So then she calls me and she's like, we need 5 paintings. Then she calls and says, hey, 10 would work. So I end up having my first exhibition with the dance that goes on. They use them for the dance, but then I have an exhibition at Basin Arts for a month. And that was my first ever art exhibition in town. And because I said to the universe, I want to paint. So be careful about this stuff. But so I experienced that way. Then I must tell how the Illustrated Cafe came about. I really wanted to do I don't know if anybody saw it. It was like a cafe that was painted like it was an illustration. I'd wanted to do it for ages. And I was having lunch with a couple of friends one day, and the guy at that time worked for the ACA. And he was telling me how the ACA wanted people included in the art more. And I was like, oh, I had this project in my back pocket that I've been thinking about. I'd like to do this cafe. And he's like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. So he comes back to work. And a week later, I get a message from him. Hey, I've just been fired. Sorry. But they know about your project. And so, like, you know, because that's what friends do. They know about your project. I've been fired. He's very happy now. So a few weeks later, literally, I was walking into Carpe Diem. I did not know Sam at all from the ACA. He was meeting with Anita. As I walked in, Anita said, hey, don't you need to talk to Sam? Because I talked to her about the project. And she said, tag in, I need to go somewhere. And she sat me down on a table with Sam. I went, so I want to build a cafe. And so then I applied for the Art Spark grant because that was the best way to start it. And we made it happen. We got sponsors. But it's that if I'd never told anyone, like people have that way. Talk to people tonight, the goals you're willing to share, talk to them because they'll go, oh, wait, I could help with that or I can do that. And then we all win. Wouldn't it be really cool if we come back in 6 months and have a meeting where people stand up and go, hey, this happened and that happened. I wrote that down that night and this happened. And now I'm friends with half of these people because we all helped each other. Because that's the real magic.
Another plus that came from not getting the grant was that it hurts so bad that it made me question, oh, this must be crap. You know, this and my rival was like, no. Get to the positive part. It makes you doubt what you're doing. Like, wow, they didn't see it. Oh my God, what are we not seeing? But then after a few days, I was like, this is an amazing project. So I really was able to internally decide that it is a good project and it doesn't matter. I'm doing it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
the potato I drew for the exhibition.
Yeah.
So on the wall, I love that potato. And then my friends will laugh and go, yeah, let's draw a potato. Because it was rejected from an exhibition. It's a great, I mean, it's a 40-inch potato. What's not to love? Right, let me just stick to, I don't think there's anything else interesting. This is commission for 30 days. This is do it your way. Like, that's what it's about. Like, for too long, I tried to do these things and, oh, like Aileen said, we must write it out and it must be addressed to the universe. Oh, God, you could record it and it can be addressed to your dog. It doesn't matter. Matters is you find a way to do this. I like the 30 days because it really makes you want it. And then every day you'll hear that little nagging thing. So, oh, you can't do that. And now, like I used to volunteer that I couldn't draw openly. Hi, I'm Aileen and I can't draw. Because that's how I felt. And now I laugh at myself. And if I ever doubt that, the little voice in my head goes, you can't draw, don't be stupid. And it's a funny voice now. So you have to listen to those responses because every time you do it, don't dismiss them, listen and go, oh, thank you. Make them into a little cartoon voice in your head. $1 million, you can't have $1 million because who can take that seriously? And weirdly, you control the voices in your head. Hope. If you don't, then there are people to talk to. This is the one you're all ignoring. Please get a team of some kind. It might be some friends, it might be people tonight. You might just go, hey, you want to do that weird thing? And we have to finish with fire because it's the thing. So, questions and some answers. We can do it either way. I can ask questions, you can give me answers, or we can do it the normal way.
You mentioned about looking at grants that were that occurred last year in order to see what grants to apply for this year. Is there a certain website?
Yeah, so I actually have a resource as well that I can share with everybody, and I will be emailing everybody here with a recording of this session plus some other resources about ArtSpark. But the Atchafalaya Natural Heritage Area has an amazing resource full of grants.
No, come in. When the question and answers, answer any.
And It's just on their website under grants, and they just have this entire list of grants.
Newsletters, I can't remember what they're called right now, but there are newsletters you can
Yeah,
sign up
Creative
for.
Capital,
Creative Capital is a
Practice
really good one.
Atlas. There's bunches of them, and we have a resource page on our website as well that has these resources on them.
Yeah, and they'll link through to all of them. And obviously they'll tell you about up and coming grants, but normally people have those grants at the same time every year. So you can always look, you can look who won, you can look at some of the entries.
This time of the year.
Yeah.
It just opened.
And so, but come and meet with Anna anyway. When you fill out your ArtSpark, thing, and you bring it to Anna to talk to and say, hey, do you know of any other things I can apply for? She knows stuff. Follow her on social media. Her stories are literally, hey, there's this grant for these people. There's this is going on. This is going on. And they're not all for everybody, but they are such a good resource. And make a calendar list for yourself. I've got a list of book awards I'm going to apply for, which is terrifying, but I'm only sending off a book. It shouldn't really be that scary, but you're like, oh, but my job now is to apply for them and forget about them. And it should hurt. That hurt is kind of, it's like, if that stops you, this wasn't your dream anyway. It's that easy. It's so, the hurt, it should hurt. I'm not going to say it won't hurt. It should hurt every single time. Otherwise, you're in the wrong business. But allow yourself, it's like kind of getting angry. Allow yourself an hour or 2 hours. Try and stay angry for a whole hour when you're mad at someone. Give yourself permission to be really angry for an hour. After 5 minutes, you are so over it. Honestly. So you can go, right, I'm allowed to be really sad about this for a day. I can say all the nasty things I want to myself about how you're, and then after a day, I need to just get on with it. And it's one reason you'll need to come and see this production, because apart from it's going to be brilliant, it's also going to remind us all that we can achieve things. Questions? Okay, this is why I say get a group. This says, remind them about your book and write a review and follow me. That's why you need a group. Thank you. So do all those things. If you've read the book, please write a review. Apparently after 200, they take you seriously. I have 17 at the moment, and they're all beautiful. Amazon will sometimes let you do it even if you didn't buy them from them, but you can put it on Facebook, you can put it on Goodreads, put it everywhere you can, if you can. I know it's a pain to do, but that's how we can all help each other. Write reviews, share stuff you see happening. Make all of that, that really helps. And if we all become this core group and bring other people in, the art scene changes in Lafayette. That's the way to do it. And some people here aren't even artists. Some people have got really cool businesses. This is Grace Acadiana sitting here. If you haven't been there, go see them. Super cool place. Anyone else need me to talk about their project?
I'm just going to do a quick ArtSpark overview, because there's a lot of information coming up. So it opened yesterday. Jump on the website under artist opportunities. You'll find ArtSpark information. The guidelines are there. If you have any Spanish speaking friends, we have translated them into Spanish this year as well. So the guidelines are up there. I do recommend reading them before you get started. That's really important. Next Wednesday, we do have our information session. The following day, we have our regular artist roundup networking event, but we're going to do an ArtSpark AMA. And we'll actually be having 2 of our previous ArtSpark recipients who are actually in the room today, Whitney Wills-Abear and Bob Burrell. They'll be there to answer questions about what they went through in the process to apply, and also throughout the process of the grant cycle. And then we'll actually be around town as well. So we'll be at A&E Gallery with Paul Scheck-Snyder, who also received one a couple of years ago.
Has his own gallery, which is my dream.
And then Suzanne Wiltz, who's at the back, will be at the Lamplighter Cafe in Franklin. So we'll be around town. So share this with everybody in Acadiana. Yeah, so the information session is Tuesday, and then the Art Spark Artist Roundup is on Wednesday. And then office hours will be throughout up until mid-February. As Aileen mentioned, we do a review service, but you need to get it to us 2 weeks before the deadline. So get us a draft 2 weeks beforehand, and we'll make sure to sit down with you and talk about things that could be included, improved, changed,
It
whatever.
could be a video series. It
Yeah.
could be a cookie art exhibition. Who else do I know? It could be anything with this one.
But
Watch out for this one.
please just get in touch with me. I'm seriously open to talk to anybody. My card is on the desk back there. Please email me, call me.
And follow her on social media. She is the best resource for grants and residencies and all sorts of things.
So my handle is, do you have a pen?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Anna, A-N-N-A.
That's the easy bit.
Yeah, underscore.
Score.
All right, so K-O-J-E-V-N-I-K-O-V, and they were both V for Victors. So
Those are Aussie names.
Very nurturing and very sweet.
Well, yeah, but then the ACA reached out to her to put a production on.
yeah, this is just testament to, like, there are a lot of good projects out there. We just can't fund them all, and it really depends on the panelists who are involved. So, you know, Aileen likes a certain thing, but she doesn't like something else, and so she's gonna, you know, score things differently, and that's what happens. And unfortunately, that's what happened. But we still, like, we got her in the door. Yeah.
So yeah, just the fact that people are hearing about your project, just the fact that you've written a grant means you can write the next grant much easier.
Yeah.
So do
And
it.
The other great thing, I just want to add real quick, the other great thing about grant writing is that just because you don't get it, like, grant writing in itself helps you to formulate your ideas. So getting it on paper, the more you apply for grants. Yeah.
Yes.
Who here knows Dirk Guidry? He applied 3 times before he got it. So just don't come and see me and talk to me, because that's, I think, the best way to really understand what you need to.
And you never know, she might go, oh, actually, there's a better, this fits you more, or hey, this is open, do this. But literally the most they've ever had apply, and this is not something they make public, so don't tell anyone outside this room, 39 people.
39 people, and incredible odds. We have about 10 recipients every year. And there may be more this year, there may not be, because there is an increase, but we do have $50,000
But
this year.
I say, all the judges get to read your plans and they know what it is. And who knows when one of them is going to tell someone else and come to you.
And the other good thing you should know is that we do provide access to binders full of people's previous applications that you can read as well, so that you can see what kind of applications have been submitted, what kind of applications are successful, and that type of thing. And they'll be available at all the office hours.
Any other questions, anything we can help you with? Did that help tonight? Hey, who's actually going to do it?
All right, I'm just going to count,
pretty good
because
odds.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are at least 10 people in here.
Your way.
Yeah.
That's the biggest key in this. I say, I read some books and they were like, no, you must do it. No, do it your way, because then you'll stick to it. It might be, you put it on your mirror, and when you're brushing your teeth, you're reading it. But imagine it every time. Never just read it and don't get those feelings, because the feelings matter more than the words. And message me when this all happens, because weird stuff's about to start happening. I promise.
Well, thank you so much, Aileen, for being
here.
What an excellent way to open up the.
Yeah, you're going to get all these people here for all the speakers now, right?
So I hope to see you all at some other.
Yes, love. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so
Go ahead. Sorry, I'm just gonna stop recording.
Yes.
Yeah.